Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have the Bruichladdich 18. Wow. Now, it's been on the market over here for a couple months already. I'm a little bit behind schedule. What really surprised me was they did a global rollout, and the people in America, people in UK, people in Germany all got it almost at the same time. Well done, Bruichladdich. Now, after having said that, I'm not the biggest fan of Bruichladdich. I did visit the distillery about 2 years ago. I know a lot about the history of the distillery, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I'm not the fanboy. I'm not the fanboy of Octomore. I'm not the fanboy of the Port Charlotte, and I'm not the fanboy of the classic Laddie. I mean, it's and let's see what I think about this. Now, the very first thing I must admit is, look, there's a new bottle design, and the bottle design is covered and protected by this cardboard type of thingamabob that I had problems opening. I tried for a minute and a half, basically, trying to pop this little thing open, and what I did is I ripped it open. I ripped open my package. Is it me? Probably. So let's just take a look at this very briefly. So this is the real bottle. This is the thing that's going to be there. This is the packaging. Now, Bruichladdich does a lot for sustainability. I love that. That's great. And so this is compostable, put in your compost pile, biodegradable, if you'd like to say. It's light, very light, and it does protect the bottle a little bit during shipping from breakage, from things hitting it and so on, as well as a little bit from light. But this has to be one of the longest labels. Bruichladdich. And there's only a tiny little slit there, so you can see how much left in there. So I think your whiskey is fairly well protected from light anyways. Now, everything is good. There's actually a little label on here. I pulled off the sticker here. I'm not really sure. That's paper as well. I guess that's biodegradable. This packaging has suffered with me. I'm luckily I did a bottle share. This is not actually going to be no one's going to get this, but I like the project that they have there. I'm going to say it's a nice to have, but it's not a must have thing. If they just sent the bottles out like this, like Springbank does, I'm going to go, okay, fine. I assume this is recycled glass. I couldn't find anything on there that mentions that, but maybe I didn't look hard enough. And we do have the nice little, whoops, now it's getting easier and easier to open. We have these nice little glass tops here. Just push with your thumb, and you get the nice whiskey here. So I have a little bit left from my German video, so I'm going to try to ration this. It's not cheap. It's 150 pounds in England or in UK. It's 170 euros, 180 euros sometimes over here in Germany. Now, if you look at other whiskeys, let's say you take a look at a Bunnahabhain 18, you're going to be paying 160 euros. If you look at the new Laphroaig 18, you're going to be paying 180 euros. If you look at a Bowmore 18, you're going to be paying 100 euros. It used to be much, much less, but 18-year-old whiskeys are just generally more expensive. Not everyone has to buy an 18-year-old Bruichladdich. Now, very, very interesting, the history of Bruichladdich. So, founded, that's the most important thing, always 1881. All right, so they built it there so they could actually come into the harbor with the boats, with the barrels, with the barley, get rid of it. Everything was not done on the roads. It was done on the sea back then. All right, so we have the year then 1968. Invergordon Distillers takes over buys the distillery. 1975, they actually increased the stills from 2 to 4. 1993, White and Mackay, oh no, bought the distillery and closed down the distillery 2 years later. They didn't buy the distillery, they just bought Invergordon, and it's like, I don't know what to do with Bruichladdich, that's an old museum, close it. And then we have the famous year of 2000. We have Mark Renee from Waterford. We have Jim McEwen. They go in there with their company, basically Murray McDavid, and they buy the distillery. They tear it all apart, they rebuild it, and starting 2021, they actually make whiskey. So they have been making whiskey now there for 23 years. And so they have had enough stock that is a minimum of, now everything here is 18 years of age. So they have enough stock from back then that they can actually use this here for this 18-year-old product. So we finally have an 18-year-old product, which is great. So, and I think that is something that should be celebrated. All the whiskey in here is from the year 2004. Now, on my bottle, maybe someone can explain this to me. I have the bottle code. So let's see here. You have to go to that little gap here, at least with me. You can see here a little bit. Let's see if we can go here. Yay! You see 2024 02 20, let's say it's 29, 23. But up above there, there's this nice little code over here, and it's 23231. Now, I have always assumed that 23 means the year 2023, and 231 means the 231st bottling of the year. How could that be when this was bottled in 2024? Can someone tell me? I just don't get that. All right, so this was bottled here, as it says here, in February of 2024, but it says 23 code, 23231. Good. And it says here even a bottled 2023, and then, who knows? All right, now, the whole basis of a lot of the marketing for the 18-year-old is the following statement here. I'm going to read the statement from their website. And it says here, 18 years ago, we distilled spirit from our first ever crop of homegrown Islay barley, and our passion to diversity and champion our cereal growing program has never wavered. It's about making delicious whiskey with real province, which also benefits our community. The Bruichladdich 18 is the embodiment of this ethos. So, the specifications of whiskey, it says here, the Bruichladdich 18 is made using a combination of Scottish mainland, Islay, and organic barley, with each varietal and harvest fully traceable from farm to bottle. I feel cheated because according to my bottle code, I do not have organic barley. I do not have Islay barley. I only have exclusively mainland barley. So I have a batch of 24 barrels from 2004, Scottish mainland, a mix of U.S. bourbon barrels, second fill, comma. We have from France, Sauternes, so Semillon und Sauvignon Blanc, hogshead, first fill, comma. We have Port hogsheads, first fill, and Spain, Ribera del Duero, Tempranillo, hogshead, second fill, then U.S. bourbon barrel, second fill as well. So they basically took the red wine and put it from Portugal into second fill bourbon barrels. Why do I not know how many barrels of each? If you're going to do transparency, tell me. Say of the 24 barrels, 16 are U.S. bourbon second fill, 7 are Sauternes, 5 are port, 3 are Spanish red wine. It'd be great. Now you can't put the ages unless it's all the same, so that's not the problem here. They're all distilled in 2004. And then they have a second batch of 21 other casks they put in here, also 2004, also Scottish mainland, and it's a mix of U.S. bourbon barrel second fill. We have from France, Sauternes, the same thing here, hogshead first fill, and we have port hogshead first fill that were then in U.S. bourbon barrel second fill, so no red wine. So we have red wine, we have Sauternes, we have here port, and we have U.S. bourbon. That's a lot of different casks going into this one product here. At least I think so. Now, many of you out there are just going, Jason, who cares about the cask compositions? Well, I do. If they're talking about full transparency from the field to the bottle, give me information that's legally available. And then don't promise me, I'm sorry, Bruichladdich, don't promise me Islay barley and not deliver. That's something that kind of makes me feel cheated. All right, so I did buy this the bottle with my own money. I did a bottle share. It was gone very, very quickly. A lot of friends, about 13 different people are happy, basically, that they can try this themselves. And I will now take a little whiff of this and pull out my comparison whiskey. Jason, you're crazy. Why do Waterford? Well, the guy who made the whiskey back in 2004, Mark Renee with Jim McEwen, he is now at Waterford and making with Ned here for him his whiskey as well, 50%. He's using the same type of cask confusion with American virgin oak, premium French oak, used American barrels, and vin du natural. So this mixture of Sauternes, of port, of sherry, of Amarone, anything they can get their hands on, rum, it's just VDN casks. And I have the same feeling sometimes with Bruichladdich is what they're doing is, oh, look, these are not great casks. What batch can we put them into? I would love, and that's just me, and I don't think I've ever had a Bruichladdich that's not been a single barrel. I would love to actually just have a normal, conventional, but they're not conventional there, I know, bourbon cask matured Bruichladdich. So, all right, so Bruichladdich has a lot of different expressions. Not a lot, they have some. All right, so I've done videos here about the beer barley. I've done videos about the organic barley. I've done videos about the Islay barley. I don't know if I've done a black art video or not, but I have a couple bottles stashed away. They're the classic laddie. I haven't done a video about that for 7 years. What I have not done yet, and I think I have to take a look and find a bottle of this, is Rockendal. That's a Fischl bottling. This is 3.0. It's 100 pounds. We'll see. And what I just found out, I didn't even know, there's a 30-year-old Bruichladdich out there. Did you know? Though I'm complaining about the price a little bit of the 18-year-old for 150 pounds. 1,500 pounds. 10 times as much for an extra 12 years of age. And there's a video online of an 8-year-old laddie from that I had, at least in German. I think I had a 22-year-old once. There's been some interesting Bruichladdich out there. They're doing fantastic work at Bruichladdich. They're innovating. They're pushing the envelope. They're going for sustainability and consistency. They're doing things right. And it's not even Marc René that's been there for the last 12 years to push this. This has been that French company that bought them in 2012 that has been the driving factor here. And that is actually, I have to say René Contre, thank you very much for all that you've done there as a French company pushing and making Bruichladdich the thing it is today. Oh, I forgot to pour out a little bit of the Waterford as a comparison. Now, the Kofi I did not like. They had some casks in here that were sulfured. And the sulfur comes through. It's amazing. You have, I'm going to say, 50 casks. 4 have a sulfur component. I get that sulfur component more than almost anything else. What a shame. I don't get any sulfur whatsoever here. I do get a tiny little whiff of barrel char. So I don't know if it's barrel char or that when they switch from Port Charlotte from Octomore back over to Classic Laddie, that they just don't clean the system enough. And there's a little bit of residue still left in the spirit receiver tank or in the pipes. I don't know. This does not smell 18 years of age. This does not smell old. If you would have given this to me and said, hey, this is the Classic Laddie, hey, this is the organic, hey, this is the Islay, hey, this is the beer barley from them, I would have went, oh, okay. So this is a whiskey that smells of a 60 to 80 euro price tag, in my opinion. Let's try it. There's a lot more of a citrus moment that I'm not very fond of. There's that little bit of that barrel char moment, charcoal dust moment. A little bit of a lemon twist going on in there. I don't recognize an 18-year-old age statement on my palate. Now, there are some official tasting notes, which I'm just going to very, very briefly mention here, because I thought they did a great job of pulling things out that I couldn't get. On the nose, it should be beautifully fragrant with ripe peach and honeysuckle. I love honeysuckle, don't get it? Hints of violets and lavender comes through on the nose. A little bit of floral moments. Balanced with vanilla, cream, coconut. Don't get the coconut. From the toasted American oak. A medley of tropical fruit comes to the fore with melon, peaches, apricots, and vibrant citrus. Get the citrus! While the influence of the oak brings honey, caramel, vanilla, custard, and rich creme brulee. I get the creme brulee more on the palate a little bit. It's like a cheap creme brulee, not an expensive. Sorry, Bruichladdich. On the palate, it should be luxurious and vicious. Vicious. It's vicious. I'm having problems speaking today. Honey, butterscotch, fresh fruit coat the palate, followed by cereal notes of sweet syrup-soaked porridge. I mentioned that barley moment. Barley sugar, toasted oak, vibrant tropical fruits, and the subtle presence of toasted oak, as a barrel char is what I call it, with a hint of leather, follow with honeycomb, adding to the smooth, sweet character. Yeah, it's a C+. Okay. Other people are just giving this 8 out of 10 and 91 points and all these crazy, crazy things here. Whiskey base, this is at least the bottle from the 11th of November 2023, is whiskey base number 239274. It has a rank of over 200 votes of 87.5. So we have 92s, 91s, 90s. Is anyone weird enough like me to give it actually something below? The lowest someone has actually given this is 81. That's some 82s. But we have a lot of 85s and 86 and 87s and 88s and so on. And so this is not wow. It's good. It's good. Would I go out and buy a new bottle of this? Are there Bruichladdich fanboys going out there and going to buy a few bottles as reserves? I definitely think so. It's a lot of citrus, a lot of floral notes, a lot of cereal notes. Not, wow, not special. Value for money, C-. I can't give it a D. I could give it a D++, C-, but the first 18-year-old release from Bruichladdich themselves at a price that the market today is willing to pay is absolutely okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's not really worth what I'm drinking here. Just as a very brief comparison, over here the Waterford, on the nose I get more of a sour and more a sulfur moment. The casks here were, the ones that were chosen are good. I'm not sure if the cask combination is perfect, but the casks themselves are good. No sulfur, no sourness from the cask. Here, I get the sulfur and a little bit of sourness. I'd rather drink that. But interesting enough, this has more mouthfeel. This has a higher viscosity, a higher syrup coating moment than this. And it's 6-7 years old. Okay. Have I lost subscribers? Probably. Do I think people that want to buy Bruichladdich 18 are going to go out and buy it anyways? Yes. Is it something? Definitely try before you buy. If you like Bruichladdich, Classic Laddie, compare the two. Try the. Is it really worth 5 or 3 times the price? And that's the question you have to ask. All right, so I hope there will be other other age-stated Bruichladdich coming out soon. They're doing vintage products at the moment, as I mentioned here. If we go over here, we have the Islay barley from 2014, so it could be a 10-year-old product. We have the organic barley from 2012, which could be a 12-year-old product. And we have the beer barley, which is from 2013, which could be an 11-year-old product. So they're not putting age statements on there, they're putting vintages, and we have to calculate. The Black Art Edition 11, which is now on, is available for 400 pounds, is something where I'm going to go, I don't know if we really need that or not. What's your favorite Bruichladdich? Write it down, and it could be Port Charlotte, could be Octomore, could be Bruichladdich. We're at 14 for Octomore already. That's amazing. I remember just 2 years ago we were at 11. All right. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and staying around for my rambling. Bye-bye.